time, the one thing I will say about my co-host, I'm the opposite. Totally the opposite.
As far as what? Go ahead.
Hold on, you about to hear. When it comes to these first-round draft picks, he will hold them like a kid that loves his favorite teddy bear going to sleep until the draft comes and goes.
Oh, what? Because what?
Because that's when, one, you know where the players have landed, so the value has already increased a lot more. But also, it's to the point where the value has increased to the tippy top, but also that value could drop if it's a player that you wanted. But most likely, 9 times out of 10, the value is pretty much already high. And that's the one thing that the co-host loves about. He always waiting. Me, I'm the opposite. I'm trying to collect those first-round picks because I know certain players that I want. But if you don't know anything about the draft class that's coming out, you might not know the value of those first-round picks that you have. Some people in our leagues that we have had didn't know the value of those players that are coming out. So they threw them away like fool's gold. And the thing about it is, what's really strange is that we had one owner in our league was doing this exact same strategy. The exact same strategy, and his team took off. I'm talking about he was one player away.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here?
You're now listening to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. And now your hosts, Christian and Chris, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Cerberus Gridiron Podcast. I am your host, Christian _CFS, and joined by us is the co-host, Mr. K Camp. How you doing, Mr. K Camp?
What up? Shalom. Shalom, I Kim to everybody, good or bad, because we need peace in this world. I was walking through my home this past weekend. Her husband just lost his mom to cancer. I know we just lost an aunt recently. I just lost an aunt recently. So we praying for peace and strength for everybody. That's why I always tell the show, I can't unto you, because we need it, and we know where your peace comes from. So we need more good people in this world. But yeah, what up? I'm here. How was your weekend?
Good question at all. People be forgetting about I be forgetting about the weekends and things like that when it actually gets here.
That's why it should be. We should have 3 days off. It should not be 5 to 2. It should be 4 to 3. And I know
a lot of people will actually like that.
Yeah, and I know people in the comments can be like, well, back in the 40s or 40s, I think it was like it was a 6 to 8, like 48-hour work. And they changed it. I don't know when they changed it, but it was like the 60s, maybe the 70s. They changed it to might have been the 60s. 40-hour work weeks. It needs to be, and I can make the argument to Congress of why it should be 4 days to 3. Productivity. You will consume more because you're off, man. I can make a hell of an argument, but I digress. But we can't take 5 by 2.
Yeah, it did. But shoot, man, my kids, man, they wasn't doing too well. Or actually, not my kids. Baby girl was good, but the boy, it wasn't doing too good. So it was like getting over like a stomach bug or something like that. So we were supposed to go to like a birthday party over the weekend, so only half of us could go. So I stayed home took care of the boys. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like really, not much happened to the grind. That's all I can say. How them boys doing over there with you?
Keep me on my toes, man. I always into something. Don't be quiet. Don't listen. Click, Lord. Same old for me. We had a flag football game. We had a soccer game for my youngest. This weekend I'm by myself. I got soccer, flag football, soccer on Saturday. And I got soccer again on Sunday. By myself, like that's the word. So this past weekend we kind of chilled and relaxed. I look forward to those chill and relaxed weekends.
I don't blame you, dog. You gotta chill. You gotta relax. But hey, man, anybody out there up in the comments, man, what y'all do up over the weekend, man? Let us know down, man. We're trying to interact with everybody, man. This is a lifestyle brand that we're building here. Man, it's going to having lifestyle, faith, and fantasy football. That's all it is. But not in that order. Faith is first. But yeah, man, everybody out there, man, we got a great show for you, man. Hashtag replay squad, hashtag replay gang. If you are listening on this replay, man, you done missed the show. But let's go and dive into it. We are diving into the sweet spot of Dynasty roster management. And we are going to talk about the hybrid strategy. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to break down the reload and then dominate strategy. So we're going to show you how to keep winning without ever fully tanking. And a lot of people do not know how to do that, but we're going to try to break it down to you to the best of our ability.
That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. What are we talking about? How to retool without tanking?
It is, bro.
So I could do it and I know how to do it. I just don't necessarily want it. I don't like that gamble of that. That makes it probably make no sense. I don't like that gamble. Right?
Nah, it makes total sense. Because you ain't you a gambler, but you ain't trying to really gamble though.
And I like my first round picks also. So you would more likely have to give those up. You know what I'm saying? Like think about Dreadnoughts, right? You would have to. He's constantly in the playoffs every year. He constantly doesn't have any first round picks, and I don't like gambling like that. So I would. Okay, if I suck, I suck. Tank, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So my philosophy is different than. I could do it though. I just wouldn't like it.
Okay, so but also you got to realize, like, I actually showed how to do it up in our league. Like the year that I ended up winning, pretty much I had like 5 first round picks next year. So like for like prime example, like we'll give you a breakdown of what it was. Pretty much I had like 5 or 6 first round picks for like this year, but this was probably 2 years ago. So like in 2013. Not 13, but 2023, I had like 5 or 6 first round picks up in 2025. And what I was trying to do is
But this draft, you had like 5. We had 5 first in this draft.
Yeah,
you don't have any now.
I know. I gave them all up so I could win that year in 2023.
See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So your boy ended up giving up pretty much all those first round picks. Ended up getting like Christian McCaffrey whenever he exploded the year before last year. Ended up getting who else? I think Patrick Mahomes that year also as well. Like I went straight heavy. I think I ended up getting like Mark Andrews again because he wasn't on my roster. So I needed a tight end. And then I just kept reloading with other running backs and things like that for like lower tiers. But gave up all my first round draft picks. Pretty much ended up winning the ship that year. And this year, I'm kind of in the boat where I really don't have that many first. Nah, I ain't got none.
That many, right? Just 0.
I ain't got none. So I got 0 first this year in 2025, which I could if I would have just kept my team the way it was. I probably would have made the playoffs, but at the end of the day, like sort of like what the co-host Mr. K Camp was saying, I just took that gamble, like where he doesn't like to take the gamble, where he doesn't want to give away his first round picks, but I weighed first place over holding on to my first than just somewhat making it into the playoffs and just skating by and getting lucky. I want to have a proven record, so whenever I get in there, I have the. And my team was actually pretty stacked. Like I think I had a top 3 quarterback, 3 top running backs, another top 5 wide receivers. And when I mean top 5, I mean I physically had like either number 1, number 3, and then like number 4. Like that's what I mean when I'm saying like top 5, like all on the exact same team. But also I'm understanding trading with certain players. Some of the players that I had CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and like Scary Terry, something like that. I forgot who the other guy was. But yeah, so the team was pretty dominant that year. Now the team kind of fell off. But what we're trying to do is we're going to teach you how to do that strategy. First, you need to assess your team and see if you are in that win-now mode. And if you are in that win-now mode, then look at certain players on your team that you're able to give up and check out your draft picks. That's one of the key commodities. The best time, the one thing I will say about my co-host, I'm the opposite. Totally the opposite.
As far as what? Go ahead.
Hold on, you about to hear. When it comes to these first-round draft picks, he will hold them like a kid that loves his favorite teddy bear going to sleep until the draft comes and goes.
Oh, what? Because what?
Because that's when, one, you know where the players have landed, so the value has already increased a lot more. But also, it's to the point where the value has increased to the tippy top. But also that value could drop if it's a player that you wanted. But most likely 9 times out of 10, the value is pretty much already high. And that's the one thing that the co-host loves about. He always waiting. Me, I'm the opposite. I'm trying to collect those first round picks because I know certain players that I want. But if you don't know anything about the draft class that's coming out, you might not know the value of those first round picks that you have. Some people in our leagues that we have had didn't know the value of those players that are coming out. So they threw them away like fool's gold. And the thing about it is, what's really strange is that we had one owner in our league was doing this exact same strategy. The exact same strategy, and his team took off. I'm talking about he was one player away from winning it all, but he didn't end up trading that last commodity that he had up in the draft picks just to get that player.
That's tough. What player? That's tough. What player should he have got?
Well, what he said was he wanted a top echelon player. I don't want to put the player out there because then that's going to end up messing everything up. But at the time, he was saying he wanted a top 5 he wanted a top 10 wide receiver.
Okay.
And when he asked for the top 10 wide receiver, certain people that had those players, they was like, hey, you can have this guy, you can have this guy. He was like, nah, I'll be good with like my players. When I mean the dude's team was stacked, the team was stacked, everybody. He had a top 5 quarterback. He had 3 thoroughbred running backs. I'm talking about 3 thoroughbreds as of they had 3 monsters. One off gate was the king. That's the most I'm gonna give is the king. He had King Henry when King Henry physically finally went off. It wasn't the King Henry from the Titans. Whenever he would go off and then you got him on your team and then next year in the playoffs he gives you that 5 points. Nah, he didn't do that this time. Ravens this year. He went off. He's killing them. But what that owner did not end up doing, and he did not get a top 5 wide receiver or top 10 wide receiver going into the playoffs. And you already know how the co-host is when he examines a team. If you have a top 5 or top 10 every position on your starting lineup, then you pretty darn good of being able to win it all. And
Well,
what
at
ended
least
up,
make the playoffs. At least make the playoffs. And
At least
they
make
can
the
happen now.
and you want to know what happened? If he would have got that one play, because his wide receivers were none of them were top 10. He just needs
What?
one top 10. No, it wasn't.
No, I was just gonna say he made the playoffs. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, like I'm saying, well, that's what I'm telling. Like, but we're talking about like a hybrid, like strategy that he did. He physically reloaded, and his team was looking good, and we thought he was going to win it this year, or last year technically, but then he didn't end up doing that. So, what caused him was like he targeted. When he went with the strategy, he ended up getting. It was Derrick Henry. Gave up a couple draft picks for that. There was another player he ended up getting, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here?
He already had Quan, didn't he?
Yeah, he had Saquon from the very beginning. See, like that's another running back that he had. When I mean everybody, his team was stacked. His team was stacked.
Excuse me, it's 2K Quan. Sorry.
Respect out to Quan. 2K Quan. So that's pretty much what he was doing. Like that was the strategy. Like that was the hybrid strategy that he was physically building right there. He gave you some examples of what he was doing. It's for teams who finished mid in the pack, but then made the playoffs, but need a youth infusion. So think about that. Like he had Saquon. A lot of people are trying to get Saquon, talking about he's old and everything. If you physically know what the Eagles are doing, he's the perfect running back for you to have at that young commodity. And then he also blended his team very well too. So he had Saquon, who was going to have a good year this year, but he also was physically knew he needed that extra. So he ended up getting Derrick Henry later on up in the season. So he blended that younger stud with the older veteran stud. Kind of helped out his team a little bit. I can't remember who the third guy that he had, but his team was like really good. Like, so when it comes to his team this year, like, what are some things that you are looking at that would you do if you had this team? So, like, when it comes to like the veterans, what should you keep, or like who should you keep, or like who should you trade? Like some of the veterans out there that are like a la Derrick Henry. Like, are you keeping him because he did good last year? Do you think he's going to be able to redo what he did last year?
So let me ask you this question: did they re-sign Derrick Henry? Is he still a free agent, or is he signed? It probably won't matter, but just ask. Is he back with Baltimore or not?
I thought he signed a 2-year deal.
Oh, I honestly do not know. I didn't look that up, right?
I'm about to do it right now, but yeah, it was a 2-year deal of $16 million.
Oh, you mean last year he signed it? I thought he just.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why did I think he only signed a 1-year, $8 million deal? Oh,
Yeah, he signed.
he signed a 2-year deal last year.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
2 years.
Oh, I thought it was a 1 year for $8 million. Damn. My bad. So that's your question? Yeah. I'll keep it. 1 more year? Or another year?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I think he rushed for 18 yards, whatever crazy number he rushed for. He don't do it a damn again. He might have 18. I see him with 15 though. 15 on the low end. That's the floor. 1,500 yards again. Running back. Yeah. He is a alien in a good way. I mean, affectionately. And then who else you say? I'm doing it for 1 year though. I wouldn't do it past that because we don't know what Baltimore's going to do. He's going to be 32 after next year. So who else did you say?
I didn't say anybody else yet. I'll wait, like, to see your thoughts on him. But some of the other guys, oh man, what are some of the other guys that he had?
You talking about? He changed his name.
Yeah,
he's finalized his team now, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
He had. Let me see what he got now. He has now, but I can't remember who he had last year.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
can't
see,
know
like,
who he has, but
if you go to into the history and look at the most recent game, playoff game, you see it then.
yeah, we can do
show
that.
everything.
Yep. Let's go on and go back to that. So pretty much, guys, what are we doing right now? We're actually going to look at this gentleman's rosters in like one of our leagues because he physically really did the hybrid strategy, but didn't know what he was doing in that strategy. Like not saying that he didn't know what he was doing, but he was trying to win a championship, but he didn't realize that he was doing the hybrid reload strategy to the T. And when I mean to the T, he didn't know that he was doing it. But I think if he would have known that he was doing it and if he understood how to do it, I think he would have changed his mind and then he would have went he would have zigged when the other zag, I would say that. Let's put it like that. We already know how that is. The dude would have zigged when the other zag.
So let's go to look at week 14, because everything's team. Oh, you can't see it though. No, you can't. You can't go into detail. It just shows the score. It don't show you. Nah, you don't really see it. No, you can't see it. It shows the scores, the total scores. So I don't know who he had on his team. Figured it out. I think so.
So pretty much everybody, what we're doing out there, we are trying to look at Reality Sports Online. That is the platform that we're actually using, and that's what we're talking about right now. So we're trying to actually look back at the history to see what the guys had on their team. And the only way to do that is to physically go back and look at the guy's team, which he's kind of already put his roster, but we're trying to go back to the history. That's what we're trying to do. So bear with us. But it don't make a difference, man. We won't know what he got up on his team now, man. Things he already done rolled over. It would have been good if we would have been able to see it, because then we could actually taught you and showed you exactly who we had on this team. But we did not have it. And we are sorry.
And I need RSO to get it together, because I'm looking at, like, I just looked at like the free agent, looked at Josh Palmer, and you click on the thing, it says Florida State defensive tackle Josh Palmer recently had an official visit with Houston, Texas. Man, I'm looking at Josh Palmer, the wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills. Gotta get together. I still ain't sent that promo code out.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, send out that promo code, man. People in the comments, if y'all trying to get another promo code for RSO, let's go on. Not spam them. Let's be polite. And let's ask them and see if they can send us a promo code for daggone draft weekend. They sent us one with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. The next best thing they can do is get us ready for draft week. That's the next best thing that they can do. But man, we can't find it right now, so we're just gonna keep going, keep talking about it. But yeah, man, it is what it is. But he was building that hybrid strategy from the floor up. So now, like, looking at other veterans, what are some other Asian veterans that you are thinking that sort of like, who would you rather keep? Like, would you want to keep them, or like, would you want to trade them away? Like, some of the guys that I'm thinking about.
I mean, I think Davante Adams this year going to going to the Rams, I think is high. I think he has a sneaky chance leaking a touchdown. I think he's just going to boom a touchdown. That's what I feel. Wrong.
And that's sort of similar to like you're just going that off your gut and understanding like how Simon Bay actually runs the offense one. everybody, if y'all don't know, well, you probably do know, but if you do not know, Davante Adams is actually coming back home.
Yep.
Boy went to college up in Fresno State, where pretty much he did his thing in college. Now he's able to get back on the West Coast. He can be a veteran presence for Puka, but also he can be like what we said before. Once Puka exploded, Cooper Kupp ended up becoming that Bobby Trees role, and now Davante Adams is going to be Bobby Trees, or he might end up being that number one, but we don't know because we got to wait to see how they're going to distribute. The one thing Davante Adams needs to make sure he is doing with Matthew Stafford is taking him to breakfast every morning and sitting with him and getting in it, because that's what Cooper Kupp was doing. They was going to breakfast, and you saw how he was. Until he got hurt, he was in there like swimming. But yeah, man. So we brought up Davante Adams. Another guy who I'm thinking about is about like Mike Evans, man. He is an aging veteran, but he put up that 1,000 for 1,000. So he's trying to go for history this year, I believe. I think
did he not break it last year? Like they think he tied it already.
I thought he tied it last year, but I could be wrong, man. Hey, y'all let us know down in the comments if I'm right or wrong, man. I can't remember if he broke it, if he broke the 1,000 for 1,000s up in a road season, or if he ended up, he has to break it this year. I don't know, but I know they was trying to get him and force him involved just to get that 1,000 for 1,000. So that's the one thing you want to think about whenever you actually have guys like that on your team. Like, what are they playing for? One of the other aging veterans that I want to see, and like your thoughts are, what and how are you feeling this year, knowing that this might be Travis Kelce's last year?
I mean, like, yeah, Travis is on my team, so I had the opportunity to tag him, and his price, I'll tell you what his price is right now.
Okay.
$30 million for 1 year. 1 year tag. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know what he, it's going now. I don't know what he finished last year. But I think he still finished top 5. Now, tight end as a whole was down, right? Yeah. Tight end scoring was down regardless. Mm-hmm. But he still finished top 5. I think I would sell Travis.
Okay.
I would sell Travis. If I had Travis still under contract, I would be selling Travis right now. And I don't know when I don't know how Rashee Rice is recovering. If he's gonna be back for week 1, but if he's gonna be back for week 1 and he's gonna be 100%, yeah.
I don't think
he might have a suspension for about 4
games.
That's
what I was about to say. Like, I don't know if it's him recovering is the whole issue. I think it's him getting that suspension, which is pretty, like, because nobody knows what it is. And shoot, they might have already gave him his suspension last year. Maybe he did his community service. Nobody knew about it.
But okay, let's say, for example, let's say it's 8 games. He's 100% and he's suspended for 8 games, right? He's going to the first 8 games of the season. Where you need Travis, and so he'll get back in November. He gonna swallow up all Kelce targets, I believe. And that's the second back half of the season. That's when you need Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice the most, is that back half of the season. So okay, suspended for 8 games, cool. You're gonna come out there fresh, ready to go, boom, boom, bam, and he gonna gobble up 8-9 targets a game. And sadly, Travis Kelce's targets are going to be what's going to be affected. We saw it. We already saw it. So, ain't nothing going to change.
So, let's do this right now. So, like, would you give like a high second, or like, would you trade Travis Kelce for like a high second round pick?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you can get a first out of him.
No.
Yeah, you get a 203, 204. Yes, I would say.
What about 210? Would you trade him for like 210?
I see, that's a low one. You think a high? I'm thinking it's
So what about a mid-second? So like, what about a mid-second? Like 206, 207?
Probably, especially if I have like another tight end in the wings. This one is a deep tight end draft class this year. You know, if you have, let's say, if you got Travis Kelce, but you also have like 1.10.
So what if you have? So let's say this. So like, say you got Travis Kelce and then you have Isaiah Likely. What you doing?
Isaiah Likely, I'm down on Isaiah Likely now. He had his chance last year. He came out week 1. I said, okay. It did, but I think he had one more good game of the season. Done. I'm done. I am going back and forth, man. We been waiting for you to pop. Still ain't pop. You're going to pop this year. I'd rather be wrong. He's been in the league over 3 years, I know, right? Yeah.
3 though.
Yeah. Is Mark Andrews?
Let me see.
Is he young? So what I was saying as far as while you're looking up as far as Travis Kelce, if you have like 110 and you got somebody that you want to get in the rookie draft that goes to a good spot, whether it's Colston Loveland or Van Harold Fanning or whoever else, and you got Travis Kelce, then I would trade him for 207, 208, because I got an idea of who I want to get in the team. Let it be you good everywhere else. You got like 107 and Tyler Warren go to somewhere. We'll just go to the Denver Broncos or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You a shoe-in, right? You get your replacement for Travis and you get like a 2.7. You gotta think ahead, right? And then also look at your auction. You know, you might have Trey McBride might be out there, or I don't know, another decent tight end might be out there to where you can let Travis go, get Tyler Warren, get a 207, and then think of another tight end just as an insurance policy in your auction.
Okay, so Mark Andrews is in his last year, and then on top of that, Isaiah Likely is in his last year as well. So this is year number 4 for him.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't popping right now, man. You ain't popping. Hey, what you say? You got no haters, you ain't popping. You ain't got no haters, so you ain't popping. I would,
like if you actually look at, what his stats, like he's actually trending upward. So his first year, he only started 2 games and ended up having his snap percentage was 37.8%. Then in year 2023, he started 8 games and his snap percentage was 44%. And then in 2024, he started 9 games and his snap percentage was 56.5. So with all that being said, his targets, he had 60 targets whenever he was in his rookie season. Then in 2023, he had 40 targets, and then in 2024, he had 58 targets. And I'm also looking at all the stats. He had 337 yards in 2022, 411 yards, and then 477 yards. So
last year. How many
last year.
Last year? Just last year.
I wasn't looking at all that. This is just on. This shows the yards. Oh wait, he had 6 touchdowns. So if you want to go based off that, he had 3, 5, and 6. So 2022 he had 3, 2023 he had 5, and in 2024 he had 6.
That's good for touchdowns. I give you that. But other than that, 400-some yards. What do you say? 476? That ain't enough, bro. For me to be like, oh, okay, I'm good at tight end now, like Isaiah Likely. No. He had to finish out of I know he finished out of top 12. So no, I need more for Isaiah Likely if I want you to be that dude on my team. So yeah.
So, and the reason why I'm bringing this up to you, I just want you to hear this again. So he wasn't the number 1 tight end up on his team, but I just want you to listen to like the stats, and then not the full stats, but the actual snap percentage of what he ended up getting. So Mark Andrews ended up his rookie year at 34.8 in snap percentage, and then his second year he had 41.3, and then in his third year, he had 58.10. After that, he jumped up to 75.4 snap percentage. So if he can get that 75.4 snap percentage, I think that's when he's going to double his yards and potentially he might be able to hit that 1,000. So if you can get that little extra, to get math. So that's pretty much what we was talking about, the Asian veterans, man. Went down a little tangent, man. Let us know out there if there are any other Asian veterans who you are trying to key to get on your team, just to add them to your team. Like, what are y'all thoughts about Stefon Diggs, like right now? Like, do you think he's going to be that, not the guy who he used to be on Minnesota, not the guy who he was up in Buffalo, but can he be that complementary piece, that veteran leader that that Drake May needs on the Patriots? Is he going to be able to help the younger wide receivers? Let us know what you think is going to happen up in New England with Stefon Diggs going to the Patriots. Say something about Stefon?
Oh, you want me to say something about it? I thought you was asking the people. I know you was asking me.
I am asking the people, but hey, man, they might want to know your thoughts.
Okay, so the Patriots, they got money to spend, and who cares, right? They got money to spend. So from that aspect, you're not getting anybody else. Yeah, go ahead, get Stefon Diggs for whatever, 36 million or whatever you're. I think 1 year guarantee, whatever it was. I just don't understand. Now, okay, don't have a better option. So, fair. But, why are you paying a 31-year-old Legion wide receiver who comes with ACL injury that much money? I guess because, again, you don't have anybody else. I don't get the signing. I wouldn't pay it, but I also wouldn't be in a predicament to where I can't get no other wide receiver. So I wouldn't be in a predicament where if they drafted Jalen Pope last year, and they got somebody else in like the fourth or fifth round that I thought might do something. You got the Mario Douglas, if ever a whole bunch of Jags. Now, will Stefon Diggs help them in the wide receiver room? Yes. Did he get some young stud and make them better? Yes. That I agree. I just don't know how good. We already noticed him losing a step or two before the ACL injury. So what do you think is going to happen? He's a year older, and he's coming off an injury. What do you think is about to happen? To me, that just doesn't make any sense for you to go get Stefon Diggs and pay him. Now, I think they should also, not that many in the draft, but they should add a wide receiver. That's why they probably should get it. If they get at 104, if they get your boy Travis Hunter, they get Travis Hunter. We at 3. They pick 104.
I thought it was. Oh no, the Giants draft.
The Giants,
right.
Giants. Yeah. If they get Travis Hunter, I think he. And at 104, I think he's gonna play wide receiver. Now I'm cool with that. Because of Vrabel.
Not because of Vrabel. I think that's actually the perfect landing spot for Travis Hunter if he wants to play both. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they already have another shutdown corner on the other side. So
that's why I was thinking, like the wide receiver, they might not need that much in corner.
Nah, like they were on defense. So the first thing Travis is like, that's the reason why I don't think a lot of people realize that is that Travis Hunter told people that he's going in there for defense because he wants to earn that spot, just like how he did at like Colorado. He came in, or like how he did at Jacksonville State. He came into Coach Brown. He was like, "Hey, I want to play both ways. In order to play both ways, you got to earn it." So first thing he's saying, like, "Hey, I'm playing DB, and my job is to earn snaps on offense." And he can't do that. But if his team, because if you think about it, that's the perfect spot for him. Yeah. I forgot what the corner's name is, but he was out of Oregon.
Christian. Yeah, Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. So you got Christian Gonzalez locked down on that one side. That's why I understand why Christian left, but I wanted to see how good those two mesh together. Because Christian Gonzalez was on Colorado before Deion got there, and he ended up transferring.
Really?
Yeah, he ended up transferring to Oregon.
Before Deion got there, or like because Deion got there, like I'm out of here.
No, once he got before, I don't know if he knew Deion was coming, but that same year, that's when
I'm coming. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so imagine that. You talking about one of the strongest cornerback rooms in the league in college? Travis Hunter and Christian Gonzalez, and then at the time they had that Armani kid, the 5-star prospect who they was trying to wing him, but we already saw what he ended up doing while he was up there. But yeah, man, we kind of went up on a tangent, but let's not hit this thing. Let's kick it back over, man. Let's keep going.
My bad. I want to look at Stefon Diggs. 3 years, $69 million. He got $26 million guaranteed. And they're saying, they found a wide receiver 1. I don't think Stefon that's my point.
Not at 30. Not at 32 or something like that.
31. And coming off an ACL. Come on, it's an ACL. He's ahead of schedule.
So this is how. So one of the guys that's up in our chat, you already know what I'm talking about. He physically said, so his thought process of Stefon Diggs is that he believes that Stefon Diggs can end up being similar to Adam Thielen was for Bryce Young, how he was just that guy and that's all who he had. So that's how he kind of got force-feed the ball. So
that could be true. I won't debate that. I won't even doubt that. I can see that if that's what it's going to be. But and how many games do they win? That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Okay, I guess this is fantasy, right? So fantasy-wise, yeah, okay, go get Stefon Diggs. You might get him for a second-round pick or something at a decent price. But
yeah,
I expect him to win or him to.
Yeah, so in this next segment, we're going to talk about guys that are second year and third year guys who you're trying to get on your team. One example who I'm thinking about right now, it is, what are your thoughts about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Would this be a guy who you're trying to get an asset on your team? He didn't live up to what everybody thought his hype was going to be. So, is this a guy who you can physically find yourself getting?
So he didn't live up to the hype, but he had a good rookie year. He had 116 targets, 62 catches, 885 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Right, that's pretty good for a rookie. But it was the hype, touted, best since sliced bread, right? Expectations, temper expectations. Now he comes to year 2. To answer your question, I'm hoping that him and Connor, because they were never on the same page. That was a problem, and that could be also your offensive coordinator. On who it is out there, Gannon, but you're gonna be on the hot seat if you ain't for too long. But anyway. I'm hoping they playing Call of Duty, whatever together, hanging out together. They running routes together. I'll say this: I think he'll have a better than his rookie year. I think he'll go over 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. I don't feel he should. Let me say this: he should have a JSN right. You know what I'm saying? He should have a JSN jump.
Okay. So, with that,
with more touchdowns though. JSN only had 6 touchdowns. He should have double-digit touchdowns.
So, what's another second year and third year player?
And people are probably down on Marvin Harrison Jr. So you might be getting a little bit of a discount.
Yeah. It's sort of what's funny is that I think the scenario that would have been great for everybody just to get on if we can see it. Everybody knows hindsight's 2020, and I'm not speaking this just because of certain fans. But what about Bryce Young? Like whenever he took that big cliff dive, and if you really was one of the guys out there that actually believed in him, and then just like, well, shoot, like, hey, he got bent, so let me just try to get him off your team. You don't want him.
Right.
Like, and then got that nice return value now that he got that. So let's see what's going to happen. But yeah, are there any other guys that you can think of that are second year and third year guys that you can pinpoint?
That should pop, could pop. I think that if the Chargers don't add a wide receiver, then McConkey gonna eat again. He gonna eat again, and he gonna probably have more than 82 receptions this time. He gonna eat again in his year 2. Who else we think? I think Brian Thomas Jr., which, I mean, I guess we are already projecting that. I think he's going to eat again, right? Who else that we could do this probably in year 2 or year 3? You said Jayden Reed. I am not, because he come off the field in 2 wide receiver sets. I don't know why. He comes off the field.
Yeah.
He on the field more, maybe. And if they just say, okay, this is our one, we're going to make this our one, or him and what's his face decide to make that Jordan Love get on the same page, there it is. So they might add a wide receiver this year. Who else we got? I'm trying to think. Roma Dunze. I think if they don't, which I don't think they are, I wouldn't bring Keenan Allen back, honestly, because he's cutting into Rome's yards. I think that Roma Dunze will be the Jameson Williams for Detroit, but better though, because I think Roman's better than Jameson, right? Jameson Williams. So you got your DJ Moore being your Amon Ra, and I think Rome could be your Jameson plus. I think he can have a better year this year. So that was what that? Quick players like I said, Lab, they don't have a wide receiver. I think Rome and I'm everybody here, BTJR.
So the one thing that I want to say is that it's really interesting, and then this is not trying to go down a tangent. I'm just putting this out there. It's really interesting because he talked about Roman Tuesday, but Keenan Allen is still out there. I don't think he's gotten signed. I don't think Amari Cooper has gotten signed. And then there's another wide receiver that I saw, like, Dante Johnson, he hasn't got signed. And like some of the notable aging veteran running backs that haven't got signed, Nick Chubb hasn't got signed, Tyler Lockett. These are some of the guys that are still out there. So they're probably going to be like camp bodies trying to find a team getting that bet cheap deal. But man, we don't know, man. Just great.
Yeah, I'm probably not touching Amari Cooper. I'm probably not touching, who else you say? I'm not touching
Keenan Allen.
I might touch Keenan Pauls, depending on where he go. Who else you say after that?
Dante Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not touching him.
Yeah, no, never.
Not doing it. Nick Chubb, I can't see. I think my boy is done, honestly. What running back you said?
That's all.
That was all.
Yeah, you got J.K. Dobbins out there, but I don't think.
I was hoping they was gonna bring him back for Chargers.
They still might. They still can. But you got to realize, man, this daggone rookie, this draft, man, this rookie class is pretty deep.
Right. So that tells me if they have it now and they sign Najee, they obviously keep it Najee, they're gonna add somebody else who's gonna be a rookie, and I think it's gonna be 50-50 starting off. I think this rookie, depending on who it is, I got an idea who it is. Who I want it to be. This rookie
Who wanted to be.
might take it. I'm not gonna say that because I got a pick, right? I got a high draft pick in our league, one of our leagues. So I'm just back here chilling, playing my roles, keeping out the scene. If you go to this team, it's a check mark for you. Everybody don't ask Ashton Jeter go to the Raiders. It's a check mark. I mean, the power was no matter where he goes, but still, it's a check mark.
Okay.
If Taylor Mariana Hampton go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a check mark, right? That's what you want to see. So, I don't love whoever goes there. It says the guy I want to go there, he goes there. I don't love it because Najee's there, but and Howard's a two-back system type guy. But yeah.
Okay. So, just want to let everybody know this is how you reload and dominate, and like how you stay competitive, but also stack youth, extend your window. Just be on the lookout for next week. We're actually going to dig into Win Now Blueprint. We're going to break that down and do the key findings for just a Win Now. And then after that, just make sure you like, subscribe, tell all your buddies. If you got any roster questions, anything to the nature, please hit us up in the comments down below. And any last words, Mr. K-Cam?
As all, like the end on a positive note, thank y'all for coming out. You could have been in the world, but you're here with us. And we very, very appreciate it. Please give us 5 stars. Continue to listen.
Yep.
Spread love.
Not hate.
Thanks for checking out another episode of Cerberus Gridiron Podcast, powered by Cerberus Fantasy Sports. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode.